Some streamers get crowned by the internet, others get dragged by it, and sometimes the same person gets both in the same week. For every woman the audience rallies behind, there's another the timeline can't wait to roast, not because they're opposites, but because streaming turns flaws into plot twists and moments into myths. What looks like chaos from the outside is often strategy, survival, or just a very human mistake, magnified to 1080p. Take Sakura Shimo. Before one June night, most viewers couldn't have picked her out of a lineup. Then she walked into a Houston prom stream on the arm of FaZe Jason, and suddenly all eyes snapped to her. It felt like a scene out of a teen drama. Jason and Sakura side by side, kiss on cue, chat exploding like fireworks. Numbers spiked to record highs, and in a matter of minutes, she went from unknown to the internet's newest obsession. But fame never arrives quietly. Midway through the night, Sakura joked that the J painted on her nail wasn't for Jason at all. It was for his cameraman, John. Jason froze, the crowd laughed nervously, and within seconds, the joke turned into fuel for backlash. Instead of softening it, she leaned in, tossing more playful jabs and patting Jason like a buddy. What might have felt like light banter in person came across online as disrespect, and the internet pounced. By morning, she wasn't just Jason's date anymore. She was a trending debate. Was she trolling for attention or sabotaging her own relationship live? Jason eventually begged fans to stop harassing them, and the two patched things up in private. But that didn't erase the moment. On the internet, screenshots are permanent, clips get replayed forever, and forgiveness rarely trends as hard as drama. Now jump to someone who earned love by doing the opposite of chaos. Iron Mouse didn't stumble into fame through one explosive viral clip. She built it piece by piece from a room she couldn't leave, hidden behind a colorful VTuber avatar that eventually became bigger than most facecam streamers. She turned limitation into her superpower. She's homebound, hooked up to oxygen, living with a rare immune disorder that makes even catching a cold life-threatening. But here's the thing, she never asked for pity. Instead, she filled her streams with chaotic humor, anime energy, and the kind of honesty most people are too guarded to share. She'd be mid-story about her oxygen tank, then burst into laughter. She'd sing opera when her throat allowed, reminding viewers she had a voice trained for stages long before Twitch. And when she launched her legendary month-long subathon, it wasn't just numbers climbing. It was the internet watching resilience unfold in real time. People didn't just tune in for the spectacle. They stayed because they felt part of her fight, part of her joy, part of her world. The avatar was what drew them in, but the woman behind it was what kept them there. Then there are creators like Zoe Spencer, who set the site on fire in all the wrong ways. A big casting opportunity came and went, her name wasn't on the list, and she went live swinging. Instead of laughing it off, she clashed with other streamers, shouted down critics, and leaned into the chaos. Some loved it, most didn't. Clips of her shouting and being physically aggressive near bigger streamers spread fast. And within 10 days, Zoe had gone from hopeful rookie to Twitch villain. That's the gravity of live content. One push too far, and it doesn't matter what you meant. It matters what the replay looks like. Contrast that with Saw, one of Twitch's rising stars. She paints, she plays games, she makes her chat feel like a warm living room. But during an IRL stream, a stranger approached her and her friends at a pier, turning a fun walk into a sprint for safety. Saw later explained it calmly, giving credit to the people who helped. Weeks later, she visited the famous FaZe house and described the chaos there too. Insults and flirting thrown in the same breath. She didn't over-dramatize. She just told the truth. That honesty made her even more respected. If you want to see how trust unravels, look at one of streaming's most marketable faces. She rose quickly on charm and skill, but criticism grew just as fast. Strict moderation, heavy-handed takedowns, and then a cookie brand that sold $7 snack bags. When fans called it overpriced, she clapped back by mocking broke boys. Other streamers taste-tested them on camera and agreed the price wasn't worth it. That single moment of contempt shattered part of her relatable image. Add old clips resurfacing, and the backlash snowballed. On Twitch, audiences don't just buy products, they buy the person. Once trust cracks, it's hard to tape back together. Meanwhile, Valkyrie was writing the opposite playbook. She took a risky switch from Twitch to YouTube and exploded. She co-owned 100 Thieves Frontlined Among Us and built her platform by constantly shouting out smaller creators. When her skincare brand faced backlash, she didn't disappear. She apologized, ended the deal, and kept showing up. Later came the charity drives, the awards shows, the Forbes list. None of it erased the mistake. It just proved she wouldn't hide from it. And in a business where disappearing is the norm, showing up is power. Then there's the most debated arc of all, Amaranth. She became the poster child of Twitch's hot tub meta, straddling the line of what the platform allowed and cashing in on every ounce of attention it brought. To some, she was a genius, turning pool toys and bikinis into one of the most lucrative personal brands in streaming history. To others, she was pushing Twitch into dangerous territory. Either way, the numbers were undeniable. Controversy became her business model and millions followed. But in October 2022, the narrative cracked wide open. Live on stream, she broke down in tears and revealed that behind the empire was a husband who allegedly controlled her finances, threatened her pets, and coerced her into content. The curtain dropped, and for a moment the internet didn't know how to react. She wasn't just a headline about hot tubs anymore. She was a human being in crisis. Days later, she returned, saying she'd regained control of her accounts and her life, and went back to streaming as if nothing had changed. That moment split her audience. Some celebrated her resilience, others questioned whether she was really free, or if new pressures had simply replaced the old ones. And the confusion never stopped. Years later, public arguments, police visits, and tense on-camera moments kept surfacing. Amaranth remains a paradox. Both a savvy marketing mastermind who built an empire on pushing limits, and a woman whose personal life became a public cautionary tale. And the truth is, neither Twitch nor the wider community has figured out how to reconcile those two sides of her story. If chaos is gasoline, QT Cinderella built a fire station, and she staffed it herself. She didn't just stream, she organized. While most creators were focused on their own channels, she built something bigger than a personal brand, an event for everyone else. She created the Streamer Awards from scratch, designing the graphics, booking the venue, and pulling together dozens of personalities who normally wouldn't share a stage. It wasn't a corporate showcase or a sponsor-driven spectacle. It was a night where the community celebrated itself. She didn't even nominate herself for an award, which made her role clear. This wasn't about spotlighting Blair the streamer, it was about handing trophies to the underdogs, the VTubers, the niche creators who rarely get recognition. And yet, when the lights went down and the confetti settled, she admitted she felt disappointed, like the show still wasn't good enough. That mix of relentless standards and honesty about her own mental health is exactly what set her apart. In a city full of main characters chasing center stage, she was the one who remembered to build the stage and the roads that lead to it. Of course, every community builder deals with a wreck. Just a Minx was a comet, hilarious, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. But the same unpredictability that made her blow up also made her a risk. At the Streamer Awards after party, she promised to stay sober, then didn't. Security got involved, and clips told the rest. She went home to get help, but streamed family fights that showed the chaos hadn't left. She didn't lose her audience because she was too loud. She lost them because she was out of control and no one could save her from herself. Then there's Sweet Anita, who turned Tourette's into teachable moments and comedy gold. Her tics were raw, sometimes harsh, but she never muted or apologized. She explained, she laughed, she taught. And over time, she became a reference point for others with the same condition. She didn't chase hype, she created a space. And finally, Tina Kitten. She never chased fame, yet it found her. She was awkward in an Among Us lobby, failed hilariously at Simon Says, and chat fell in love. She painted, she whispered, she let streams feel like late-night calls with a close friend. While others pushed clickbait and chaos, she grew simply by being real. So what does all this mean? It's not really about loved versus hated. It's about connection versus extraction. Do you make people feel seen, or do you make them feel used? When you screw up, and you will, do you vanish, or do you take the hit and keep walking? The creators who last aren't the ones with the biggest clips. They're the ones who build trust. Because in the end, streaming isn't about views, it's about trust. And trust doesn't care about trends. It cares about how you treat people when the cameras are on and when they're not. So here's the takeaway. Fame can make anyone loud. Character is what makes you clear. If you want staying power, pick clarity. Pick a community. Pick the work that doesn't trend every day but lasts anyway. If this breakdown hits home, keep the momentum going. Watch the next video waiting for you. And hey, if you got value from this, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments which streamer's arc surprised you most.